Hi guys! So welcome back to my channel. Today I have my partner with me. Finally, we went through a 2 years distance relationship and I finally got him to be in my video, and in this video we're going to talk about specifically that, about how we went through our 2 year distance relationship. We're going to talk about how we finally got to get married here in the UK, and the Japan travel ban still affecting us still to this date, and our future plans as a married couple. So I would say first we can talk about, what for me how it was our 2 year distance relationship. It was very difficult for me because, as a background, he's a medical student. He's in his last year of medical school, and he's very busy. More than 90% of his time is studying, and we have a big hour, what do you call it? Like time difference. We have a big time difference between Japan and the UK, as many of you know. And when it comes to distance relationship, time difference and different lifestyles can affect a lot, and that made things more difficult. So you pretty much, studying all day, and towards the end of your day I was waking up and I was going to work, and while I was in the middle of my job you're going to sleep, and it was difficult because I would feel like I was spending most of my day without even contacting him, but it couldn't be helped. So we spent 2 years like that. I think 2020 was the most difficult one, I think for most of us as well, because it was very overwhelming. We didn't know what to expect, how long a pandemic would last, and not just us but many families, many couples were separated, don't know until when, and we didn't know what to think. And I fell into depression in 2020, and many factors led to us almost breaking up. So when it comes to that, I'm so grateful that when one of us was weaker and we thought we were gonna give up, the other one could lift the other one up. And I feel like that's really important, because at the end of the day it's important to think that the situation itself is difficult, but you gotta hold on to each other. You can't, in our case we couldn't imagine our lives without each other, because at the end of the day we understood each other the most. So, and we wanted the best for each other, so we hold on. And we did for the first year, and towards the second year, that was when I thought, I had to do something about it. I tried to do better for him, tried to become a better person. As for myself, I started going to church. I started to work on myself as a person, as a partner, and tried to understand more of his lifestyle, try to be, accept more, because it's a crazy lifestyle. As a doctor and a surgeon that he wants to be, I gotta be very understandable of his choices and support him. So I think we can agree that I become better at understanding and be there for you. So I think it was in 2021 that we became closer, and we had more opportunities to talk and spend more quality time. Even it was in video calls, we would spend more time in getting to know each other and actually give importance to that, because at the end of the day this is the person that we wanted to get married to, And you know, if we can't meet and we don't know when we can meet, then we gotta do it somehow. So 2021 was a good year for us, even we were separated. I'm just so grateful that we both held on to it, and I couldn't do it if it wasn't for him. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about these 2 years?
So indeed, those 2 years were very hard. Because of million miles away distance between us. No matter what we went through, no matter what special day was, we could not share, physically, those experiences with, our partner. Only what we could do was just, talking to each other on the phone. That was all. I'm sure without it, we could not have gone through this hardship. I think going through a number of arguments, quarrels, we learned how we could think, what we could think, how we feel in the way our partner did. Then we adjusted ourselves to the way.
Yeah, I think it's very important that you do learn from your partner. You do learn to surrender yourself, die for yourself, and just you want to be with that person. You see you spending your life with that person, so you gotta learn from each other, and take a bit from each other as time goes by. So I'm very grateful that we got to learn from each other and become more aware of things and what really needed to be prioritized. So yeah, it was very difficult 2 years, but we did it, and we finally, we decided if I can't make it to Japan still in 2021, towards the end of it, we gotta try and do it in the UK. And in the beginning it was very hard to imagine for him to come to the UK, because it's months before his final exam, and all he can do is just study. So he would not think about coming to the UK. It's the bad timing, but at the same time we got to realize, he realized that it needs to be now, because times will get even more difficult. He will get more busier, especially after starting his residency in Japan. So I'm very happy that he decided we decided to get married here in the UK. So he came here in November, and we got married in December, like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. How do you feel as the whole experience, getting married here?
Yeah, honestly, I still cannot believe it. We did. As she said, I had not thought about coming to UK for marriage first because of my incredibly busy time. But once I start working, I'm sure I will not have any time to go through this. And actually, before coming here, I had to go through lots of documentation that was quite irritating. But we went through it, and then I came here. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was. I was so surprised actually, and I was so grateful that he went through a lot to prepare all the documentation, to get his, what you call in England, visitor marriage visa, and going from the north where he lives to Tokyo, from Sapporo to Tokyo to get his visa and get all the documents. I felt like I'm so grateful that he just put this in his heart, in his mind, like it needs to be done and it's gonna happen. And I'm so grateful that he got his visa and he came here and we did it.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of international couples have to go through similar things if either either like either in the partner is Japanese, especially while just normal two Japanese couple can do their marriage stuff very quickly, in a flash. International couples supposed to go through such a time-consuming things.
Yeah, it's always much more difficult, much more paperwork to take care of.
I really had an urge to punch people in the government who decided such a めんどくさい thing, to be honest.
めんどくさい. It's very めんどくさい indeed. But yeah, we finally got to hold our ceremony here where I live in England, and it was very simple. We signed our papers, and it was simple, but it was what we wanted. We still got dressed, proper like a wedding, and we had not many people, but the people needed for our marriage.
Yeah.
And we had our little party in the restaurant, and yeah.
But the thing was, because of COVID-19 epidemic right now, nobody from my side could attend my wedding ceremony as well as the party. So, in terms of that, I was a little bit alone. That was something, I wish, I wish it would be a little bit different.
But because of that as well, his family also decided, if possible, if I can make it to Japan, next year, early next year, we will also hold a ceremony in Japan.
It is sure possible because of Japan's regulations about foreigners. Nobody cannot enter Japan right now, even my wife. But ASP she come, we will hold another wedding ceremony in Japan, inviting a lot of people from my side this time.
Yeah, I can't wait. Weddings in Japan are really another level, so I'm really excited for that. Yeah. But yeah, guys, when it comes to distance relationships, especially for such a long time, I would say you guys really gotta think, do you see yourself with this person in the long term? Is your life gonna be better without this person? Because you cannot focus in the problem itself. So in this case it would be COVID-19 restrictions. You gotta focus, as much as possible, even though it's completely normal to be depressed about it and not hopeful about it. You gotta, in times where you feel like you're gonna give up, you just gotta think, I cannot be without this person, and I gotta do this for this person as well as for myself. So what always kept me going, even though we had our arguments and I was hopeless sometimes, even in the future I can't imagine my life without this person. So as long as your partner is helping you going through it, you should not give up.
Definitely.
Do you have any other advice, like how to keep your distance relationship?
My advice would be, no matter how hard it is, just be loyal, think about the person first, and be good man or lady to your partner.
Yeah. So yeah, the situation right now with Japan, it's still very, very complicated. It's very complicated for workers, students, couples, families. Even after 2 years, all of us, waiting outside Japan to enter, we've been through up and downs. When something happened in Japan, we think, okay, maybe next month, since this is happening, maybe next month is gonna happen. And, you know, we look at the news every day and we see so many unfair things happening. Like, for example, you know, there was the Olympics happening and so many athletes were able to, you know, athletes and the teams and, you know, so many people were able to enter Japan, and many musicians went to Japan to hold their concerts, and, you know, and still the lives of so many students, families, couples and workers were, you know, still on standby. And, you know, it takes a toll on all of us watching this happening. You know, many of us still waiting for 2 years to enter. So our plan was to just, you know, he came here and we're going to apply for my visa to go to Japan with him. Now, since we got married, it would be easier, but the thing is, in December, Japan decided to put, you know, very randomly tougher restrictions. So since December, no one can even apply for a visa, any type of visa, so only Japanese people can go back to Japan. Even there was, you know, there was many sources, many news saying that, you know, this new strain, this new variant was not as concerning as previous one. You know, that, you know, let's be honest, most of us are vaccinated and most of the world is already moving forward, but Japan is still very, very restricted. So even as married, you know, I still cannot go to Japan, and especially now the restrictions are that no one can even apply for a visa. So yeah.
Yeah, you know, regarding this, I have a lot of bitter feelings about Japan, but I really don't wanna. I'm sure I should not express this, you know, in front of, you know, video. So
I think we all.
Yeah, just I keep silence about this.
Yeah, we're very, very frustrated, and it's as usual. You know, the Japanese government put restrictions, and it doesn't tell us until when. So all we can do now, is even a married couple, is wait until they allow embassies to start issuing new visas, and then we're gonna apply for a spouse visa. But when, we don't know. So yeah, as married, we're still gonna go through distance again because he's going back to Japan, and he's gonna do very well on his last exam. And all I want is to be there before he starts his residency in Japan, in the hospital, and be there for him. So we just gotta, you know, I feel like now we have such a strong bond, and, you know, he's my husband, I'm his wife, so we definitely have to go through it, and hopefully it won't be for another 2 years. It'll be just hopefully a couple of months, if that. But it's horrible, and only Japan is doing it, I think. This is our situation, and I hope, you know, many of you are probably watching and you are in a similar situation. You know, so many of us are still waiting to enter Japan for many reasons. But, you know, many of us don't have a plan B. We don't have a, you know, country B to go to. So we gotta still wait for Japan to come to its own senses and realize that we are not the problem. We need to go back to Japan. Our lives are in Japan, so we just gotta wait. And my life started with him as you know, I'm married, he's married, and we are really looking forward to our life together. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, and, you know, leave your comments down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.